Hey, what's going on, my friend? My name is Alvin, and today I'm going to share with you how I switched careers to become a project manager. Now, before we get into it, if you have any questions whatsoever about how to break into the field as a project manager, leave me a comment down below. All right, so let's get into it. So after I graduated college with my engineering degree, I had no idea that jobs in project management even existed. The first thing that I thought of was that I had to land a job as an engineer so that I could make the best use of all of the knowledge and skills that I gained from college. So that honestly wasn't even my mind at that time. I must have applied to more than 50 to 100 jobs just to land my first real job in engineering. At the time, it was really competitive. I remember even applying to jobs for a data analyst and a manufacturing technician positions because I just wanted to land a job in the field and make some type of income to support myself. I was literally making $0 an hour at that time living with my parents. And boy, it was really rough on me. And I remember just spending hours every day in the morning or the afternoon looking on company websites, applying to online portals, and not even hearing back from the recruiter or the hiring manager. And it was really stressful. So to be honest with you, it took me at least a few months before I finally got an offer from a company. Now, while I was working as an engineer, I knew that I had to boost my skills and sharpen my mind because I didn't have any experience at all. So I started to research what skills do I need to learn so that I can level up and be more proficient at my actual job as an engineer. And I found that I really needed to learn how to use Excel, CAD modeling software, and to have a really good understanding of quality systems. So I became certified in using a CAD modeling software so I could create 3D CAD models, do some kind of engineering analysis, and also create engineering drawings. The next step that I did was I became a certified quality process analyst through the American Society of Quality. Now, I did both of these certifications to increase my knowledge of these areas and also to be much more attractive to future employers. Now, I had worked at different companies throughout my engineering career, starting out as a junior engineer and then working my way up slowly to a senior engineering role. So fast forward several years later, I am now working at a different company as a senior engineer, and now my resume has significantly much more engineering experience. Plus, I also have 2 certifications under my belt to help my resume stand out from other candidates. But you want to know what's really crazy? For the longest time, I thought that I was going to keep working as an engineer until I retired. Quite honestly, it wasn't until I noticed that other engineers had done 2 things differently with their careers, and it made me question my own career path. And I encourage you to ask yourself the same question. And that question is, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? You know, after I became a senior engineer, I saw others either continuing down the technical engineering route. So they would go from senior engineer to staff engineer, and then after 7 more years later, they would become a principal staff engineer, which would of course be the highest level as an engineer. Now, other people that I knew would go directly into leadership and some kind of a management type role. So for example, an associate manager of engineering, which would then lead up to becoming a manager, senior manager, and then a director of engineering. And of course, this all happens over the course of 10 to 15 years. So for me, I saw that roadmap and I thought, well, that's pretty cool, but I don't know if I really want to go down that type of a management path over the next 20 years of my life. And then I saw other engineers follow a much less traditional route, which was to become a project manager. And actually, this is what really intrigued and excited me because they took their technical skills and their knowledge to become a project lead and really to manage the projects for that company. I do want to say that becoming a project manager was really exciting to me because as an engineer myself, I had already managed my own projects for many years, and I thought that it would be really fun to do this full time. So for me, I love being able to see the higher picture at the 10,000 foot level, and also being able to have that opportunity to lead an entire team, to translate an idea from a piece of paper all the way to when it's a full product from beginning to end. So this is what really excited me, and I knew that I had to take a chance at it. So while I was working as an engineer, I researched what skills and what certifications do I need to get if I want to be considered for roles as a project manager. The very first book that I ever purchased on project management was called the Fast Forward MBA in Project Management. And I read this thing cover to cover, and I soaked in as much information as I could. I highly recommend checking out this book, especially if you want to have a practical handbook that you can reference in your day-to-day job. And of course, I'll include links down below so you can check it out in more detail. And afterwards, I took one Udemy course called Deeply Practical Project Management, which I highly recommend. And in parallel, I also enrolled myself into Coursera's UC Irvine's Project Management Certification Program. Now, these two areas, they completely changed my career path, and they taught me everything that I needed to know about project management. So if you're interested in becoming a project manager, I highly recommend yourself investing into one of these courses. So check out the links down below if you're interested. So going back to my story, I was very aggressive with my career. So after I finished Coursera's project management course, I started to study for, and then I passed PMI's CAPM certification, which is also known as a Certified Associate in Project Management. So with these two project management certifications under my belt, I updated my resume so that it was less focused on engineering and more directly focused on project management and how I achieved results leading teams and managing projects that would have a big impact on the company. So with my updated resume, that's when I started applying to job postings that had anything to do with project management. And I, of course, did as much research as I could for every company that I applied to. And to be honest with you guys, this was my first step towards switching my career from a senior engineer towards becoming a project manager. This video is a little bit long already, so we'll continue my career story into how I searched for project management jobs, passed my interviews, and landed my offer in a future video. If you want to see more of this content, do me a favor and smash that like button so I know what videos you want me to create to help you out. I really appreciate your support, and it means a lot to me. Now, if you want to update your resume to be more project manager oriented, watch this video next to learn exactly how to update your resume the easy way and land your next job.